Let's make some noise!
Welcome, everyone, to Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans, Throwback Edition. This is Trent, along with my two co-hosts, Kyle and Jaybone. Gentlemen, what's happening, guys? What's new?
It's a late night on a Saturday night, and we are here.
Odd time for us to be on, guys. What are we doing here? What's going on, Kyle?
Saturday night TNI. The cage dancers are dancing, having a good time. Feels good to be back, boys.
I'll let you explain to the people what's going on here. What are we doing? Why are we
It's
here?
Saturday night. I guess we makes it all right. TNI is live. Baby, you know we here.
I think that explains everything and what's going on with us here. That explains all of it.
Something is in the lollipops, Trent.
I think so. Something's definitely lollipops. Well, Kyle, this was that's kind of your doing here. What are we doing on a Saturday night? Doing a throwback and not on a Monday. Mir is not happy with us. He contacted me on Twitter and he's like, "What the hell?" I schedule properly. I say Monday nights is throwback. Today's a Saturday night. You guys are throwing me off. What's the deal? Can you explain it, please?
You're talking about the lineup, what we're going to be talking about here, or you want me to give them the rundown of why we're running a few minutes late?
No, tell them why we're running on a Saturday night at all. Like, what are we doing?
Saturday night TNI, Trent. It's a party. That's what it is. I mean, in these COVID-19 times, where we've got all this extra time on our hands, locked in our houses, why not do podcasts? Why not watch some NWA TNA?
That's true.
Why not take naps, Trent?
Yeah, listen, speaking of that, I've done all of the above. I've been quarantined. I'm doing nothing. I fell asleep randomly.
The best of us.
Yeah, I randomly fell asleep. We are reviewing tonight NWA TNA number 19, gentlemen. October 30th, 2002. It was Halloween.
A live snack review, Trent.
What are you eating there? Crispy Taco J's?
Jay's, not Jay's. Lay's. Jay's, that would be nice. Jay's, Jaybone's potato chips.
There are J's.
Make you dance and sing 80s glam metal songs.
The big brand in Chicago is Jay's potato chips. You never had Jay's potato chips?
Crispy Taco. We do a live snack review here on the show. We've got Lay's Crispy Taco. Now, I love potato chips. I love tacos. Don't know if I love them together. I mean, who doesn't love tacos? Tacos, you have all the food groups are covered. You got your meat, your lettuce, your vegetables. You got your sour cream, your fried tortilla shell. And none of those ingredients are in this bag, but it's the taco spirit.
How, why do all my let's say less than tan friends, a little shades less than, love tacos? Why is it that the
I think everybody loves tacos, Trent. I don't think it has anything to do with race or nationality. People love tacos. And people love potato chips.
Just awesome.
My white friends love tacos like more than my Mexican friends do. They love tacos. I mean, I love tacos, but I'm kind of in the middle, But like, what's with the taco? What's the taco obsession amongst the white community here? Over in Chicago, I'm telling you right now, it is Taco Tuesday. Is like you would think people are going for pilgrimage. It's like going to see the Pope in Chicago. Taco Tuesdays or bananas over here. Not lately, but
It doesn't have to be Taco Tuesday. Like Taco
Tuesday
every day of the week.
Exactly. That's what it is.
Not so bad. They do taste like tacos for sure.
Do they?
That nice artificial taco sensation.
I'm hungry now. Damn. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
scumbag approved. Thumbs up on this junk food.
Perfect Saturday night, late night food, guys. Like we're saying, it's a rare appearance for us to be here on a Saturday night. We're quarantined, got nothing else to do. So what the hell is the difference? We're here to do this. We figured throw another bonus show on. We have like 200 NWA TNA shows to do before we reach the end of this whole series. So we might as well pump these out as much as possible.
You might as well.
Question now, guys. Are we still doing one on Monday? Because that's what people are going to ask. Are we going to be back on Monday to do one?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And then we're going to do Impact on Tuesday.
All right.
Keep it moving.
All right, so I'm just there. You go, guys.
It might be like bright and squirrely in the morning. You never know.
Bright and squirrely in the morning.
Oh yeah, the TNI train keeps chugging along.
Very nice. All right, cool. All right, well, guys, we're here to do NWA TNA number 19, aired on October 30th, 2002. But before we jump into that, Jaybone is itching to tell you some news. Jaybone, take it away with the news.
He's
itching. That's not news that's making you itch, is it? Something else. I must be a doctor for that, Jaybone.
Dude, it's after 10 o'clock and I haven't had one of these yet.
Oh,
Jesus.
He's fiending for his CBD pops.
Jonesin.
Here we go.
Jaybonesin.
We're gonna bust open the. Oh,
what flavor we got today, Jaybone?
So goddamn good.
What flavor are we working with today?
It's cream soda.
That does sound pretty good.
Nice.
Cream soda. When I drank soda, I used to love cream soda and root beer.
Oh, you can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. I think A&W is the king of root beers, personally.
Yeah, A&W is fantastic.
Top dog for sure. Shout out to the tribe members in the chat. We got William Gardner, and Impact Jacket guy. He's doing double duty there. Double dipping. And Hakeem Fullerton, Paul Nelson, Zach Bonifer. Zach Bonifer likes tacos. Eric Dayhoff, Butters 520. Freaks come out at night, Trent. The gang is all here.
You guys, I got to give it to this gang here. Last minute announcement to go live, and you're all here
in there.
A Saturday night. J-Bone's in the chat too. Hey, J-Bone
in the chat too. What's up, J-Bone?
Yeah, I'm just, I got to say hello to the Twitch people because we got a couple on there too, and it's, just trying to make my rounds and say hello.
Very nice.
So, yeah, this is courtesy of PW Insider. I couldn't find the original article because it got buried in the last 24-hour news. So this is actually courtesy of WrestleZone, but by way of PW Insider. It says, according to the report on PW Insider, Impact taped what will now be a television...
Bullshit courtesy of other bullshit is basically
it doesn't really matter from where it's from. But I do like to give credit where credit is due because they do put the stuff out. I like the report on news and not like speculatory bullshit. That's
numerous,
what I take,
man. That's why we call it the numerous.
It's what I take pride in. I try not to, it's fun to speculate stuff once in a while and be like, hey, what if this?
Running down the headlines, man.
But so it says Impact taped what will now be a television episode based around the Rebellion pay-per-view and will air on AXS April 19th.
So Rebellion is still happening, you're saying?
It is, but it's going to be an AXSTV episode.
Well, hold on. So they officially announced it's going to air on TV on the 19th? I didn't hear that. That's official?
That's what it says here.
Okay, interesting.
Let me double. Okay, there is a link here for the article. Let me double check the article here.
Yeah, check that out because listen. I do know I have some folks down there who were there for these tapings. I know who was there. I did speak to some people down there. I'm not at liberty to give anything away, so nobody asked me.
Trent? Any surprises?
I asked for no spoilers. For no spoilers, but there are surprises.
Okay, so yeah, it says we are told the company taped what is now would be the Rebellion themed episode of Impact on AXS with that replacing the original planned for 19th of April pay-per-view broadcast. There are also a number of episodes filmed that will be determined over the course of post-production in the editing process. All right, so they taped a bunch of stuff. It doesn't say, what order anything is in, but it's going to take up at least 5 to 7 weeks worth of material. So that's a decent amount of stuff. So that's I'm assuming is, in ring and behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. I mean, they filmed TV is what we're doing here. I mean, TV was filmed for all this. So it's empty arena, as we know. But we're Impact rolls on. We continue on with material. What happened down there?
It'll force them in a position to be more creative, and Impact always does that the best. So I can't wait to see what goes on in this set of tapings. How long are we supposed to get these empty arena tapings for?
I got 6 weeks.
6 weeks. Okay.
Yeah. 6
All
weeks of
right.
taping.
So now I heard what started out the chat earlier was my buddy Paul. He goes Uncle BQ said there
friend
won't
Paul.
be. Yes, good. Yes, my nephew, if
Good
you
friend
will.
Paul.
Nephew Paul.
Nephew Paul. It says won't be a championship match on TV because Tessa is at home. That's what he's reporting. I don't know if we can confirm or deny that.
Well, we're gonna find out. I have no spoilers, but I've been given some info. All I've been told is lots of creativity about to happen.
Awesome.
So it seems like
Good to hear.
Yeah, it seems like when you're up, I don't say up against the wall, but when you kind of have to adjust for tough times, expect some interesting results. So we're gonna see what happens. Those start airing. Well, we got 2 more weeks in Atlanta, I believe. It would have been
something like that.
1 more week because I think this week coming up, and then that would have been Rebellion. So that we have 1 more show in Atlanta, and then we head to this. So
yeah.
let's see what we come up with, guys. I'm excited to see what exactly they do. It's gonna be interesting. Look, everybody had to adjust. I mean, every company had to make something and do that. And the only one who didn't do anything was Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor closed all they in the beginning of all this. Ring of Honor said we're closing the June 1st. Well, so they patted themselves right away.
Well,
June 1st.
MLW is putting out whatever they had left in the tank as far as film stuff because they filmed something recently down south of the border. So that's what they're putting out now. NWA completely shut down everything, and they're showing like classic stuff on their YouTube channel, which is fine. So yeah, everyone's doing something different just to try to keep the fans engrossed in some kind of content. I know Ring of Honor is actually putting out a lot of great classic multi-match combinations, whatever.
Compilation.
On their YouTube channel. Like I saw one that had several good matches of like CM Punk, and then they did a thing with Daniel Bryan, stuff like that. It's everyone's doing something because they know these are tumultuous times, and they're just trying to keep the spirit alive for whatever fan base you're trying to bring in, And so yeah, I applaud Implant. Yeah. Wow, it's late. Yeah. I applaud.
It is late. We normally aren't live this time.
We're all doing our best right now.
Getting groggy.
That's a word. They're all doing their best right now. I applaud them for trying to put out content and keep, the wheels on the machine going. I know some are very against this, and I completely understand both sides of it. It's a business. You're trying to keep the business going, and yet we as fans just want to see everybody hunker down and stay safe. I see that side of it too. I get it. Because that's what I'm doing.
It's tricky for all of us. There's there's a lot of things you're like, oh, they could do this, they could do that, but hey, they got to keep moving forward. Basically, what everybody's doing is you have to just, if you're a TV company, I'm noticing they're needing to just further things to get to somewhere else in the summertime, just kind of pick up where we left off. Companies like AAW, where I work, all the indies are just kind of pressing the pause button, and it's like, all right, here we're hitting pause, and then once everything starts back up, we're pretty much going to shift the calendar down to whatever month it is. So like the April show will be now be the June show, and we'll just push everything back that way. So again, you gotta get creative. But we'll see what they come up with. We'll find out in a couple of weeks where it's all going.
Yeah.
But
we're not going to confirm or deny anything specific at this point.
No.
It's everybody can put out. It's like everybody's got their own sources for whatever, and everybody can spoil whatever they want to. We're not going to do that here. No,
it was pretty locked, pretty private. They had to all sign NDAs down there. Nobody can leak any info. It was like pretty secure, which I like. I like that. Keep it secure. Don't tell anybody anything. No, don't break the news. So we'll see where it goes. But
I like this right here. Mirror says, "Be who?
Be who?"
Paul says, "Do we got to pay for it?" No, it's going to be on AXSTV. It's just going to be another. It's going to be a Saturday night or Sunday night special, whatever the 19th is. Was that supposed to be a Sunday night?
It's supposed to be a Sunday night, like a regular pay-per-view.
Is it? Okay, so it's going to be a Sunday night special.
Sunday night wrestling.
That's right.
Wrestling.
You know what, Trent, I'm glad that you mentioned cream soda before, because the
Love
Kyle
cream
snack review, there's about to be a sequel, part 2. I had my snack. I had crispy taco flavored Lay's. Now it's time to wash it down. And you like cream soda, Trent?
When I drank soda, cream soda is what I go to. Cream soda and
Did you
root
like
beer.
Dr. Pepper? Did you like Dr. Pepper?
Oh,
Trent?
dude, I love Dr. Pepper. I'm telling you, I
So
haven't
here
drank soda.
we have
Oh
Dr.
my
Pepper
God.
and cream soda.
Holy
What
shit.
could that be like? I haven't tried this yet.
See, it's dangerous, man. I haven't drank soda in 10
39
years.
grams of sugar. That's healthy.
Yes, that's why I can't do it, man.
The pinnacle of health right there.
Friend of the show, Eric, was telling me about that. He's like, "Hey, do you like cream soda?" You know, and what I used to drink before
smells like Dr. Pepper. Smells like cream soda. I like Dr. Pepper. I like cream soda. What happens when you put them together?
Are you ever gonna do the?
I'm gonna sit back
show
and
again?
watch.
What are you saying, Jay? While he's sipping down 800 grams of sugar, you were gonna say something.
I think Mark's makes a red cream soda. I could be wrong on that, but there was a red cream soda I used to drink out there occasionally.
Wow.
Two scums up. Two scums up. You get the Dr. Pepper, and then you get this sweet, delicious vanilla cream soda-like aftertaste. You can taste the 40 grams of sugar, Trent, no doubt. No doubt about it.
Save this for your scumbag shows, Kyle. You're supposed to do an episode of that.
It's coming. It's coming. You saw the intro video I put together.
I did. We're getting a scumbag
I don't know about that, but
all right. The scumbag show is going to resume on the channel here, but guys, we are quadcasting. Oh, actually, no, we're not on Facebook tonight. That was my fault. Due to being a little bit late, Facebook decided to. Facebook's very strict on time, so we're not on Facebook tonight. But Twitch, Twitter / Periscope, YouTube, all live quadcast, tricasting. Let's put it that way. Trimulcast is on. We're here, guys. Talk NWA TNA number 19, October 30th, 2002, Nashville Fairgrounds. We are plugging away in year 1 still here. What do we got here? You guys doing a live Rebellion watch party? Should we?
Yeah. It's going to be at Mir's house, apparently. Mir's paying for all the snacks, all the beer. It's all on Mir. The beer's on Mir.
The beer's on Mir.
The beer is on Mir.
It's going to be your place, man, if you want it.
Pizzas to Mir, baby. Please. We love you.
I heard.
All right. Let's see what he responds with on that one. But, let's kick it off, boys. Let's kick it off. And then Jay, call out comments as you see them. But let's kick it off here, guys. Nashville Fairgrounds. This was number 19. Jay, we're almost 5 months of doing this. Almost 20 weeks of doing this. How about that?
We are 1 short of 20. I honestly, when I started this, I went in with the best intentions, but I always go in with like zero expectations, you know. But I said from day one after we started doing this, I'm like, dude, these are awesome. I love it, and they're getting better and crazier and more ape shit and bad shit crazy by the week. I love it. And 20 is going to be huge because I saw the preview at the end of the show that Don West did. Don West looked like he was going to have a stroke. He was going so crazy at the end of this.
We'll get to. Maybe I should start having you do that preview at the end of our reviews. You can just go all Don West on us.
Dude, he spit it out so fast. I was doing all this shit last minute. I couldn't even write it down, but it's going to be good. I know.
All right, cool.
And with these NWA TNA shows, especially at this point, I mean, we're still at the beginning. It's only episode 19.
Yeah.
You can't blink. You can't blink. You can't look away for 2 seconds because something is happening from all directions. That these shows are crazy.
It lives up to the name. I'm serious, not to be cheesy, but it literally is total nonstop impact.
In Scott Hall's interview in the episode, he says, that there's an outlaw feel, and
there is.
They live up to it. At least this point.
It makes it very, very action packed, and I think that's really cool. But speaking of which, the show starts off right in a match. Boom, show kicks in. We open up with Kid Kash and Tony Mamaluke, just going right at it. I thought this was a great match because you could tell this was a match to really feature Kid Kash. This was something to really bring Kid Kash out. Fans were out of their mind on this one. They were super into this one. And for Kid Kash, not so much Mamaluke, but they're really into Kid Kash because he's been there for a couple of weeks, putting his time in, really busting it out, kind of getting far in these tournaments and gauntlets, but not quite the win. So he's been kind of consistent. So, man, the fans on this show really were there to support Kid Kash, but they both look strong. I like that. Kyle, you got a question in the chat. He's saying, brother Kyle, you got to try Lay's Frank's Red Hot Sauce chips. This is from Lakers Impact.
Never, ever came across those. I mean, I like some Frank's Red Hot Sauce.
I do not like Frank's.
You don't like Frank's? I mean, the thing is, Frank's isn't for spice. Frank's is for flavor.
Do you put that shit on everything?
No, I don't. I mean, I'm a saucy guy. I like my A1, like my Frank's. My mustard. I have a nice arsenal of sauces, but Frank's is here and there.
Frank's is low on the totem pole for me. I couldn't do Frank's, but
well, I know you brown people with that
we got plenty
shit.
We got way other stuff.
It really burns your ass.
Yeah, we got the vault, vault of sauces. We don't need Frank's.
Frank's entry level beginner stuff, amateur hour.
Frank's is child's play.
Okay,
so, you know what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
Anyway, Kid Cash looked pretty good here. I thought he gets the win on Tony Mamaluke, but I love that the Mike TNA really made Cash feel important on this one. Jay, I think you're a pretty good detail guy on these kind of things. Mike TNA really, and Don West really made those two guys, made Cash feel like this is gonna be the next guy. This is our next guy here. For the X division. I don't know what you think about this one, Jay. Give me some feedback on this, because this was pretty good. Interesting. Short match, 8 minutes only, but it was pretty good. It was pretty solid for Kid Cash.
Oh, it was good, and it all I popped for Tony Mamaluke too, because I mean I'm completely blind on the whole like ECW thing. Like I know who was there and who did what, but just real vague shit. Tony Mamaluke looked great too, but both these guys really made you feel like something special, like whatever didn't hit the WWF at this time as far as ECW stuff was still very special in this brand of TNA. He said he was talking about Kid Cash and his training and stuff, that he was trained by what did I write here? Oh, Dean Malenko. Like little nuggets like that. I was like, oh my God, that's awesome.
I thought Mamaluke was trained by Dean Malenko. Like I thought that's what he said. Cash, I thought was trained by Ricky Morton. Am I remembering that wrong? Maybe I had that backwards.
Oh, you know what? I think you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wrote it above Tony here. Yeah. Bad.
Tony Mamaluke trained by Dean. I never knew until this show.
It's these.
It is. I blame your lollipops. Until this show, I had no idea it was Dean Malenko training. But these are two ECW guys. Kyle, you're an ECW guy. These are two former ECW alumni.
Oh yeah, and my connection with Tony Mamaluke goes
you have one
deeper. Well, fan connection that is I always try to sneak the plug in my local hometown promotion, NYWC.
Yes,
Tony Mamaluke has wrestled there hundreds of times, so yeah, he's one of the greats.
Dude, I hear a lot about NYWC from Mikey Whipwreck's podcast.
It's a 5-minute drive from my house. I mean, wrestling that close to your house, how could you go wrong? Do they still run monthly or what? Once a month. I don't know about now in these COVID-19 times, but hopefully when all of this is over, I'll be back there at the NYWC Sportatorium, NYWCWrestling.com. They actually have a little streaming service if anybody wants to check out some of their matches and shows. Nice little indie promotion here on Long Island.
I hear a lot of good things about him from Mikey. So that's cool. That's really cool. But yeah, like I said, you could tell they're going. This was Kid Cash kind of getting him out of all those losses and ups and starting stops from the tournaments and the gauntlet matches and various losses he's had in the X Division. Like, okay, solid guy. We're about to get him into something here. So this was kind of a coming of age for that. But we go right from these first like 5 segments, guys, super quick. It was like boom, 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 boom. We go right from that to a Scott Hall sit down with Mike TNA. And I love the sit downs. This is like a classic. Kyle, you might remember this more. This is a classic TNA staple from like even when they go into Spike and Fox and all that.
Sitting down with the professor.
The professor. The sets would change and evolve over time, but like the sit down with Mike TNA is like a classic thing. And these are like the first few in these early episodes.
It's important. I know they're going with total nonstop action. Like they open the show up with a match, and then later on in Jeff Jarrett's promo, he mentions This is total nonstop action. We go right to the wrestling, but you got to stop in the promos, the interviews. They're very important. I mean, why should we care about any of these characters without all the promo and interview segments? I can't have all action.
I agree. This was a good interview, though. What'd you take away from it, Jaybone? What'd you take away from this interview, though, with Scott Hall?
It's good guy Scott Hall here. It's all good guy Scott Hall. It's
not the bad guy. Not the bad guy.
There's a good classic repertoire between the professor and Hall here, and he puts over Hall, and Hall puts over the promotion and tells people why it's a good thing that he's here. And while he's doing that, I couldn't help myself but think about how similar this brand, even almost 20 years apart, this brand is so similar to what Impact is today. You hear Hall's description of what the company is, he's like, yeah, you got some veterans, some old timers. He's like, but you got this youth movement. I don't think he said youth movement. I'm quoting Josh on that one, but it's, no matter what words you use, it's the same thing. And it's like, wow, it's the same thing, only different,
Yeah. I mean, imagine this. This is 19 weeks in at the time. Hall's been around, and he's like, it's a new thing. This is this new rebel company with a bunch of young guys.
How he calls it the outlaw rebels, whatever word he used, Wild West, however he described it.
Outlaw was the word he used a few times. I thought that was interesting.
And that really describes NWA TNA in a nutshell at this point.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was an outlaw. Well, think about it. It's everybody who didn't get signed to WWE at the time. So there's all
guys.
ECW, WCW guys. That's who's showing up here, including rookies like AJ Styles, who was in the mix at WCW. Company closed before he got to go anywhere. So all these guys who are just about to break through and go somewhere, that's who's here. And some guys who never got signed to WWF at the time. That's who we got to deal with over here. So it's really cool because it really is like an outlaw. It's
But one highlight from this interview is that TNA mentions to Scott, you've won all of these titles. He mentions his title history, but there's one thing that has avoided you your entire career: World Heavyweight Championship.
Yes, he played like twice. Yeah, it came up a few times.
Yeah,
and that is true. Hall has never won the heavyweight title, and he's always been the other, the second title, the tag champ everywhere he goes, but never the heavyweight belt. So it's kind of interesting. I would love, now knowing, since they played that out a few times, I'd love if they stretch this out even further. Like if they built this up to you've never been a world champion. Look at me, Ron Killings. I was here only a couple of weeks. I won the world title, but look, you've been in this business for 30 years. You haven't won anything. Really milk that.
It creates a more compelling story. It's that chase for the gold, especially Scott Hall, who, even though it's 2002, he's already a veteran at this point.
He's already totally a veteran at this point. And imagine he keeps going here. But we got a comment from Hakeem.
I want to save that. I want to mention it, but I want to bring
Jaybone
up
horny with that comment.
No, just wait. I want to recognize this, but I want to bring up this subject for the end of it for a little discussion. Okay. So if we could save this for last, just remind us Hakeem at the end, because the way my mind works on a Saturday night. Please.
Yes. I mean, I don't know whatever that's supposed to mean. God damn it, Jaybone.
I'm just saying I got a few of these. So.
You got a few more live. You're gonna be out before the quarantine's over pretty fast, Jaybone. We go right from that interview to the match, the title match with Killings and Scott Hall immediately. Third segment in. This was odd. Really, again, odd to me too. Title match is being done right away, super, super early. I don't know why. I'm not sure. Maybe somebody had to go somewhere. They had to be gone. Usually, my experience at AAW, if you move what seems like a main event that early, somebody has to catch a flight. Somebody's got to be out of the venue by a certain time. So you're bumping it up, but could be what it was. Truth comes in, does an opening rap. He tells his fans, they're chanting, "You suck, you suck, you suck," and he's like, "If I suck, you swallow." Oh, I mean, he's digging into these fans, man. He's really he says now is a time for a moment of truth. And he accuses the politics. He accuses all the backstage conspiracy against him, you know. So
he mentions Jeff Jarrett as a possibility for Mr. Wrestling 3, which
yes.
is still the big speculation, the big whodunit. Who is it?
It's the whodunit. Who is Mr. Wrestling 3? That he's making a ton of accusation. He says, well, like my opponent Scott Hall says, don't bring it. And he like fucks. He kind of fucks up the line. The don't sing it, bring it. He's like, don't bring it. Don't sing it.
That was a flubble. It was for the blooper reel.
Definitely in the blooper reel. One of those things where I wish when Scott Hall came out and took the mic, because he basically took the mic and kind of shot back. And I wish he would have said, and the real way to do the line. And the real way to do the line is.
That was a good one. I'd like to hear in the comments quick what your favorite like wrestling blooper on the mic is of all time. But I think the greatest ever, Trent and Jaybone, is Sid Vicious on Nitro.
Oh.
Half the brain that you do.
I have half the man that you are and have half the brain that you do.
I got half the brain that you do.
Another classic Sid one was on WWF, I think SummerSlam or what it was. And he's like, I'm going to tell you. Oh, fuck that. Let me try that again. And then JR's like, we're live, pal. He's like, let me tell you one more time. What's going to happen?
We're live, pal.
One more time.
We're live, pal. That's literally what it was. He was like, we're live, pal. But, you know, they go right at it. Match goes in. Pretty standard match. You know, this is like, you know, they're both pretty active. Scott Hall looked good. He looks healthy here, despite ups and downs he was having. But he looked pretty good. He definitely looked fresh, had a good energy to him. Mr. Wrestling 3 interferes, and he attacks Scott Hall. And Scott Hall unmasks him.
Gets the mask off, but still, they keep teasing you.
He teased you. The mask is off, but the guy covers up. TNA and West going nuts. Can you see his face? Can you see his face? Who is it? Oh, my God. The guy rolls into his hoodie and apparently puts another mask on or something. Because TNA mentions like he was able to put something else on. Jay, did you catch this? He like put something else on and then ran out through the audience.
Yeah, Scott unmasked him in the ring. Of course, the camera's on the back side of him, so he covers his face. All you can see is his tuft of blonde hair. So we know he's got some kind of blonde hair.
I didn't even catch that. He had blonde hair?
Jarrett, maybe.
Okay.
It happened so fast you couldn't tell. But he rolls out of the ring, still covering up. Don West is screaming, let's get a camera over there. What's going on? He's losing his mind. And all of a sudden, by the time a camera actually does get over there, he's got another mask on from underside of the ring. So whoever this is, he was ready. The funny part of it is when they quick show him, the mask is like, oh, he's got the one eyeball looking out the wrong way and the nose is over here. So and then he quick takes off, jumps the rail, and boom, hightails it out. So we still don't know who it is. All we know is that he's got what looks to be blonde hair.
I mean, whoever it is young, looks pretty young, has is pretty wily. You know, Kyle, he's a wily youngin because he's flippy. He's kind of quick to jump out and run around and get out of the play, but
skittish.
Didn't look like a Jarrett to me. They definitely not look like a Jeff Jarrett to me, if anything. But well, we'll see. We're gonna find out. Quick question from Hakeem Fullerton. Hey, Trent, if I made an article talking about the 10 best matches from AAW, do you have suggestions? I do. We can connect off the air about that. There's a lot feature current Impact talent as well. So there's quite a bit I can definitely work on too.
One more right here. I wanted to.
Go ahead.
It says, did Hall win the World Heavyweight Championship in AWA? That's a great question.
He did not. Kurt Hennig did.
I knew he and Kurt Hennig were like a tag team.
They were tag team champions.
Hennig versus Bockwinkel. Great.
Hennig Bockwinkel. Classic match.
Great. Bockwinkel. My goodness. Now there is a legend worth talking about. I mean, for another time, but
but now Scott Hall's got some good AWA stuff when he's got the old porn star look.
Oh, yeah. When he was
the perm.
He was shooting people. Big Scott Hall. I mean, dude, even his nickname was very porny, you know, Big Scott Hall.
Big Scott.
Me and Kev were hanging out. Call me Big Scott Hall. And he's like, bro, you need to You need to shave that mustache. You're looking like straight up porn star.
He looked like if Magnum TA and
Something like that.
Who the hell was that? Magnum PI had a baby.
Well, Magnum TA was a combo of he was the name was influenced from him looking like Magnum PI.
Oh yeah,
TA Terry Allen, Terry Magnum TA, aka Tessa Blanchard's stepfather. How about that? Huh?
Yeah.
It all ties back in, boys.
It all ties back.
Truth retains. He's still heavyweight champion. So no titles. Short match. So it's not even 7 minutes long. Super short match. Again, I don't know. It was kind of a random match to throw in that sense. I didn't really feel there's enough build on this one, especially you're a guy like Scott Hall's caliber. Second match on the card, not much build. I felt we could have done something more of this. I feel like at this point, we're like in a holding pattern with Ron Killings' title reign because of this Mr. Wrestling 3 thing. So we're like, where do we go? We even go with him right now, but we'll find out once the reveal happens. But we run from that right away. We go right to Jeff Jarrett coming out, and he declares a bounty on Mr. Wrestling 3's head. We say it's bound. That's it. Curt Hennig comes out and says Jeff Jarrett's dumb. You're an idiot. He accuses Jeff Jarrett of being Mr. Wrestling 3. He's like, isn't it funny? You're never in the same place at the same time. Why is that? So back and forth, him and Jarrett. The accusations placed on there. There's a bounty. We're basically seeing this like, oh, is Jarrett diverting us from it being Wrestling 3? Is he telling the truth? Does he really want to know who it is? What'd you guys get out of this one, Kyle? What'd you think about this?
I have a question in general. Yeah. At this point in the run of Curt Hennig,
yes,
why does he love throwing shots at DDP in his promos?
I think this is an inside joke. This has to be. I was going to catch
2 weeks in a row. Catching it.
Good catch on that one. I heard that. I was like, this has to be an inside joke because they're like good buddies,
if you will.
Yeah, it was just a rib. It was definitely a rib. I think it was definitely because what was the line, Kyle? What did he say about DDP?
I forget, but it was 2 weeks in a row for sure. Yeah,
it was definitely 2 weeks in a row. And he said something like, maybe it's that DDP guy or something. He said something about DDP where
DDP stole his whole look or something.
Yeah.
Last week, and this week he threw another jab in.
So I was listening to that thinking like this has to be some kind of inside rib between the two, at that point. And I think DDP was in the WWF at this point, right? He was doing the stalker thing. It was a little like, hey, Jay, Wrestling 3 at this point. Now we've seen it from the beginning. Where are you standing on this? Where do you think they're trying to go at this point?
Mr. Wrestling 3, I actually accidentally found out researching other stuff. I found out through his, so I don't want to. I don't want to say anything.
Keep your mouth shut.
I'm not saying it. I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I know, but so I'm not saying it. I'm not saying, oh, there could be this guy, and then it does end up being that guy. No. I'm
trying to sell a show here, Jaybone, a throwback show. What people aren't going to tune in if you're going to spoilers, Jaybone.
No, it was completely accidental. It's like, I'm on the Impact Plus. You see this lineup of all the stuff underneath, and you see things.
Guys, at this rate, I need you to hammer Jaybone. Because at this rate, he's bound to look at Rebellion spoilers. You're going down a bad path here, Jaybone. You're going this way. You're getting sideways with me here.
No, I'm not.
If I can't keep you from looking at spoilers from 20 years ago, I'm gonna have a hard time keeping you from Rebellion spoilers that are gonna air in 2 weeks.
You're punished, Jaybone. No Monday Night Raw for a month.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cut you off here. We're gonna have to cut you off.
Are you saying I'm not allowed to watch the competition?
No, you better just lock yourself. Hunker down there, boy. Hunker down. We go right from that, guys. America's Most Wanted in a 3-way tag team match against the Hot Shots, and then Chris and Rick Michaels. Now, these are the two teams, Jay. We talked about this before Kyle started doing these with us. These were the teams that started getting title shots, like randomly. Hot Shots I can see, but Chris and Rick Michaels getting that title shot a couple weeks ago made no sense. We were like, why are they getting a title shot after one win? But these are the two teams now who have been fighting AMW, so it was the 3-way tag team match. Pretty excited. Again, anything involving AMW at this point is like solid shit. This is like unbelievable stuff. Jay, did you notice there was less James Storm hate in the crowd on this one than the last couple of weeks because he gets hammered by the crowd normally, and he's been like more accepted in this match. I noticed in this one, more pops, more signs for him. People were drilling him before, but they're kind of taking it easy on him at this point.
Well, he's been the last couple matches, he's been a little less gimmicky. Like they're just boom, hitting the ring, kicking ass and taking names. He doesn't go to the corner up on its second rope, looking at the crowd, looking around with his his duster and his hat and shooting off his pew 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 pew. He's not doing that. He's not doing that the last couple of shows. It's just drop the belts, hit the ring, boom, hit you.
It's crazy to think, Kyle, as cool as James Storm is, like he was a total dork in the beginning. Like he was a complete dork in NWA TNA in the beginning.
It's the early awkward years. He had to figure it all out.
To the point where Chris Harris was like calling him out for being a dork like a couple weeks ago. He's like, what are you doing? What is this?
Who would have thought
what is
that
this
would have became the cowboy?
I mean, he's like one of the coolest looking dudes now, let alone
dude, of course.
Let alone anything else. The dude's cool as shit. But this was good. I like good point out, Jaybone. They literally were they just like as they came out, it was no fanfare on the entrance. They dropped the belts and ran right to the attack. And for that matter, the hot shots
action.
Dude, I'm telling you, they right to it. And the hot shots did a great job too. I liked it. 6 minutes and 20 seconds, super short match. Like title matches on this show, really short. Not even 7 minutes, but AMW retains on this one. It was quick, but I guess this is why it was short. They retain and lights go out. Classic wrestling lights out. It's not Sabu, which usually whenever lights go out, Kyle, as we know, being ECW marks, the lights go out. Usually it's Sabu. Was not Sabu on this one. And they come back up, and it's the New Church. It's Slash and Brian Lee, who's a new member of the New Church now.
Now, Trent, is that the same primetime Brian Lee from ECW?
Same guy.
Okay.
Same guy. Before you join us for these throwbacks, he's been on all the early NWA TNA. He's been there since Jay. I want to say what he was on show 2, maybe started show 2 or 3.
Yeah. He was. Was it Don Harris?
No, Ron. It was with Ron Harris, a tag team partner for a couple weeks.
He was his tag partner a few weeks in a row, like a month ago, and then Ron went through this whole weekly thing where he's trying to get a new tag partner in and try to get some wins unsuccessfully. But yeah, same primetime Brian Lee, Kyle, and he's been looking good for all these early weeks, but he was kind of directionless. It was like, it's kind of, where do we go with him? What do we do with him?
People are crazy in the chat today. Kyle, Puff give. Then you got Zach Bonifer. How long are we waiting for Kyle to stop being nerdy and better looking? Trent, what's up with the cosmetic comments?
I don't get it. What is with the cosmetic comments?
Let's see you people, all right? Let's see you put your faces on here, huh?
This is
just like Abyss. I'm beautiful.
I'm not gonna. I'm beautiful.
I'm beautiful.
I'm not going to get too into this, but lately the cosmetic comments from the listeners have been, I don't know what's going on with you guys.
We're grimy and grungy.
Do we not look good or something? I don't get it, man.
Really? Our mom said we are handsome. God damn it.
I don't know about you guys, but I waxed before the show. So
yeah.
You're not showing it off. We just see all bandana right here.
That's because it's the gimmick. I'm the lollipop and the headband, and it's.
I'm nerdy. It's like so I'm wearing my spectacles.
I mean, it's also because there's like, if I take off the bandana, the glare was knock out the entire internet.
Can't do that.
I'm just
we can't do that. So New Church is attacking the shit out of him. Jim Mitchell's on the mic, dictating chaos. He's like calling the shots. At one point, Brian Lee choke slams looked like Harris off the ramp onto a table. Kind of a choppy choke slam. Didn't get the momentum, but he still got him off the ramp. Slash. Then you have Jim. Like this whole time, Jim Mitchell's on the mic dictating terms. So he's telling, a young Jim, right? How about that?
Looking youthful.
He still had hair.
Yeah.
The look. The eyebrows were the same. I mean, he looked very
still just as satanic and creepy. Don't get me wrong, just a little younger.
You missed Kyle Jim Mitchell like maybe 6 episodes ago. Jay, you remember the book of the Audad? Remember the whole book of the Audad thing where he he did a bloody sacrifice and he drew a cross on Sonny Siaki's head and the
That
goat's
was-
blood.
That was the thumbnail. I loved it so much. I made that the thumbnail of one of the first videos that we were doing. It's Sonny Siaki with the blood, and he's got him in someone's got him in a camel clutch, and Reverend is putting the goat's blood on his head, and Sonny Siaki is just screaming.
Oh. Trent is not going to be happy.
Dun dun dun.
Should have got Rush Order's second day air on that Ethernet cable. So I would have done. I went right to Staples in the midst of COVID crisis. So as we continue on, while Trent is in stream connection hell.
Hang on, I'm getting a message. We're getting a
Intermission,
message here.
folks. We have lost the Trent Meister. He pulled a Kyle. Hey, pulling a Kyle is changing. But I've been showing up a lot lately. Trying to change the definition of that.
Poor Trent. He'll be back. All right. Yeah, he just messaged us. He's like, damn it. All right. So
bashing his face into the keyboard right now is what he's doing.
he is. He's probably just destroyed like 10 monitors.
I know that guy.
All right. So as long as we're stalling, let's have that discussion that I was gonna save towards the end. We'll just have it now.
All right.
So it's about 24 hours. Actually, no, was it 24 hours? No, it was like
the Jaybone Show
it's
on 102.5 Total Nonstop Impact Radio.
WTNI.
TNI, the Kyle and Jaybone Show.
I don't know if that's going to get us in trouble. I don't know if there's a WTNI out there, but you know what there is now. We'll copyright that shit.
Hey.
All right. So big news hit the internets within the last 24 hours. I believe it was just over 24 hours.
You don't miss a beat, do you? I mean, it's your job for the show. I expect you to, but you don't miss nothing.
No, I don't. And it's, and people message you shit. It's ridiculous. So there is some hot free agents out on the market in the world of wrestling. The Revival, one of WWE's best tag teams, finally got released officially after they've been begging for the last year or so to get their release because they have been unhappy. Hey, no yawning, damn it! I'm talking here.
When you bring up the WWE talk, I get a little tired. Excuse
I know.
me.
Well, it's. I'm just saying where they're from. We're not going to talk about them.
Continue.
All right. So the Revival are free agents. Now, while everybody assumes, because of a certain tweet or a couple tweets that went out approximately a year ago, saying, oh, yes, someday, the Revival will wrestle the Young Bucks. Or depending on who it was from, you might have seen the Young Bucks will wrestle the Revival. Now, while everyone assumes that they'll go to AEW, nothing's official yet. They just had some merch go up to ProWrestlingTees.com.
But Jaybone. Are you looking at me, Jaybone?
Yeah, yeah.
There's money right there.
Oh, you're preaching to the choir, bro. Because one half of those tag team champs already called it out.
Okay.
Ethan Page.
Match I would look forward to.
Ethan Page.
Take my money.
Yeah, right. Take all the money.
Take my money.
Ethan Page retweeted the announcement from WWE and said, hey, we gonna make this happen or what? And that certainly caught the eye of several wrestling fans and news pages, the like. So I want to now whether you assume or not, and I've said this for the last 7 years, 7 years I've been doing this, you never, ever assume in the world of professional wrestling. because 90% of the time you end up wrong.
Never
anyway.
say never.
Exactly. You never say never. You can never assume you know what's in the mind of these guys that have been sitting on the shelf the last several months, not even wrestling, and they got a lot of time to think on their heads. They're not on their own. They got family time now. They're refocused. They're getting healthier. So I want to spark the discussion while our host comes in here.
Where's Trent?
Where is Trent? I want to say, do you want to see the Revival versus any tag team in Impact Wrestling as we bring our host back in here?
I'm shooting up.
There he is.
Sorry, guys.
Trent, what's
It's
going
okay,
on?
man. We kept the discussion going. I just popped a huge question. It's all
I'm worried
good.
about you.
Bit of an interruption. Apologize. Thanks for keeping that going, guys. Sorry about that.
No problem.
We left. Where do we leave off? Now you said you posed a question to the chat, Jay.
I just posed a question to the
Revival
chat.
Talk, the inevitable.
I decided to bring the end discussion of the show to the middle just because of circumstances.
Waiting
I hope
for you,
don't mind.
pal.
I appreciate you guys doing that. We left off on that whole thing with Jim Mitchell. Like I said, he pretty much warned everybody, this is it. This is going to be this is the new church is here and they're about to take over. So just to round that off. So sorry about that. A little bit of a technical problem there, but I'm back. Sorry about that. You're getting Jaybone to edit some of that out, maybe. As long as there's no dead air. Kyle, you know better than anybody.
No dead air. No
dead air. That's all we gotta make sure of.
It's all good.
WWE
kept
free
rolling.
agents, it's a hot topic for Jaybone. Don't you worry.
Now we go from this, guys, to another Mike today sit down. We got two on one show, and he's with Bullet Bob Armstrong, and he's sitting there with Don Harris as his security, as his muscle. Bullet Bob's sitting there. He's saying, he's like, I'm changing the rules, DQs. If you purposely get yourself disqualified, you're going to lose the belt. Because I know I've been accused of playing favorites. I've been accused of some wonky decisions around here. That's why I'm going to start a tournament. So he's starting a heavyweight number one contender tournament. I think Jaybone, what did he say? 8 guys? It's going to be 4 matches, 8 people doing this.
Yes.
Did I get that right? Okay. So 4 matches, 8 guys are going to compete in this tournament to determine a new number one contender for the title. So Bullet Bob's putting it out there, and he said, as for a little security, he's putting Don Harris as the referee for each one of these matches. So already this is weird. Really weird already. And you're going to see that in just a second as the match goes on. So basically, he tells you that's what's going on. Now we know going forward for the next couple of weeks, we got contender matches happening. So we're going to see where that goes. Now we go right from it to one of those contender matches. It's going to be Ron Harris taking on, it's 6, right? Ron Harris took on 6 on this one. What didn't he? I'm sorry, no, BG James. They mentioned 6 was injured and wouldn't compete tonight. So
yeah, they said 6 was supposed to take on not Jerry, excuse me. Wow. Lawler Jr.
Brian Lawler, yeah.
Brian.
Yeah. And they mentioned he injured his hip in the match last week with AJ Styles, so he wouldn't be on. But BG James is there. So it's BG James taking on Ron Harris. So this was pretty much a standard type match, 5 minutes. Don Harris is the referee on this one. Now he was getting a little weird in there. Kyle playing a little favorites with his brother. What do you think? It was kind of a strange little referee.
I really love Trent. What do you think?
They're twins after all. They are twins.
Twin magic? Oh, sorry.
He was a little hands-on, a little handsy with everybody. Not the best referee. I wouldn't say the fairest referee. It was hold on, pause. Trent, welcome to the Kyle and Jaybone show. Thanks. Thank you, Lord. You didn't have to display that one, Jaybone.
Rub it right in.
It was weird, but it's in the middle of this match. We had cutbacks to the back where Jeff Jarrett is brawling with Curt Hennig, bloodying the shit out of Curt Hennig. What the hell happened to Curt Hennig? Like he looked like he hit an artery. The guy looked like it was a massacre. We cut to that. There's a bloody Curt Hennig back there.
He was attacked by Jeff Jarrett earlier in the night during another match.
he's attacked there. We go back to the match. We go back again to the back, and Goldilocks is trying to check on Curt Hennig. It's like back and forth backstage to match. Wait, the match was anything crazy special, you know? So like this, if you're going to fit in a little sidebar storyline like this, perfect match to do. And then again, now Don getting a little handsy with the referee. Now Bullet Bob comes out. Bullet Bob comes out and fires the referee in the middle of the whole thing. Fires the referee in the middle of the match. This I thought was interesting. He's like, "You're fired. If you're gonna act like this, you're done." He freaks out. Little confusion. Ron Harris is there. BG James rolls him up for the win. I think Rudy Charles ends up running and counting the win. And so after this is all over, you have Don walking back up, following Bullet Bob, making, "Hey, come here, turn around, talk to me." He's like, "Get away from me. Turn around, talk to me. Get away from me." Third turnaround, decks him in the face, knocks out a 67-year-old man. What kind of man does that?
Right in the mush.
Right in the mush.
That's who.
Takes him out, takes off. BG wins the match. I thought this was funny, though. BG wins the match, sees his dad down, but still has enough sense to do this on his way up the ramp. Jaybone, did you catch this? He's like, "Oh, shit, my dad's knocked out." He gets out of the ring, and he still goes, raises his hands in victory, and then runs over to his dad. I'm like, you still had time. You still had time to pop for yourself while you're supposed to check on your dad. Goes over, gets his dad, picks him up, stumbles back in. Bullet Bob knocked out. This is obviously a feud setting up here with these guys. So I think I remember where this ends up going. And if it is what I remember, this is going to be fun. So stay tuned on this one.
I have no clue.
I think I remember where this one went. It is kind of fun. So let's stay tuned on that one. But you got to love, dude, Bullet Bob Armstrong, total sidebar. He's the father of BG James, the Road Dogg. He's 70, I want to say 78 now or something. I forgot what he is. And he's fighting cancer. He's fighting cancer, and he's refusing the treatments. He's like, "Look, I'm done. He's like, I don't want to put my body through it." But dude, he's at his son's house, and he's fucking lifting weights. He's still hitting it.
Out. I saw
see that
video. Yeah.
Holy
sick.
shit, dude. He's still hitting the lat pull down, and he's like knocking down hundreds of pounds. I think the brother posted it. And he's like, look, he just doesn't want to put his body through chemo. He's like, whatever. It is what it is now. I'm just going to live it out. But dude, just killing it on the fucking weights. Like that old man strength, Kyle, that old man strength.
Oh yeah.
You ever get into a fight with an old man? I feel like you've pissed off an old man or two.
No, I've seen it. I've witnessed it at a couple bars. I've seen some old men duke it out with some youngsters, and I've seen the old man come out on top, but not me personally. I don't get in scuffles. I'm a good boy.
You're a good boy. Okay.
He may be a scumbag, but he ain't that much of a scumbag.
I'm a wuss. I'm not out fighting.
Jaybone, have you ever fought an old man? Have you ever, or have you ever just gotten out of line and get your ass handed to you by an old man with the old man strength? My dad has old man strength. My dad does have that.
Not strength.
My dad's got that old man strength. I remember one time he's like, "Come here, boy," and he's like, "I'm gonna put you in a full Nelson. And let's see if you think you can get out." I'm like, "What are you gonna do?" My old man puts me in a full Nelson lock, and I'm like, "I got it." I'm like, "Let me try, dude."
I watch wrestling. I can handle this.
Got me down. No, it's not the stuff on TV doesn't work against old man strength. Real life, old man dad strength does not work. I couldn't get out of it. He locked me down, pinned me down. I was like, Jesus. So it's a real thing. Bullet Bob Armstrong, tough as nails.
Sounds like child abuse to me, Trent.
No, not too bad. Not too bad. It was
a little discipline, a little brown discipline.
Back in the 90s, there was no such thing as child abuse back then.
Different time.
We go to the next match that comes up here is Jorge Estrada and Priscilla. This is announced as a mixed tag team match, which caught Mike today off guard. He's like, "What do you mean a mixed tag?" He's like, Ace Steel teaming with Mortimer Plumtree to take on Jorge and Priscilla. He goes, "Well, I guess they considered, we know what they think of what JB thinks of Mortimer Plumtree." So, but Mortimer gets on the mic and he says, "Us Plumtrees don't get our hands dirty. We don't fight. This isn't what we do." So he's like, "I got somebody else to fight for me. I got a great substitute." And he's like, "He's more man than any of you will be in it." He brings out Bruce, Miss TNA. Bruce comes out there.
You think
Bruce
the name Bruce is like a little like jab at Bruce Pritchard?
That's a good
I
question.
love doing stuff like that, like naming characters after other staff.
That's a good question.
Love doing that stuff.
I always think of Virgil. You know, Virgil was Dusty's real name, right? That could be. That could very well be. I don't know.
TNA Bruce.
Miss TNA Bruce. That could very well be. I have a question here in the chat from let's see, we got a Trent. Did he call you a jabroni while he was doing it? Dude, he called me a lot more worse names than that. Jabroni would have been tame. Jabroni would have been way tame.
It's not time for that. We'll bring the psychiatrist on. The therapist. Another podcast, another time.
I did have my dad on. I didn't have him on the show, Kyle. What do? We did a soundbite with my dad one time. Didn't we do a little mini review of the old man?
Yeah, you had a little sit down with Papa, and we did have a soundbite of him, which I'll bring back for the weekly review.
It was on the weekly.
For you.
I'll get a new one from him too. But I remember my dad he stayed with me while he broke his ankle. He had to watch Impact while I did the review.
It was interesting.
It was interesting.
Father and son Impact review.
He loved Brian Cage. Big Brian Cage guy. He liked him. What do you got, Jaybone?
My dad watched wrestling with me.
Eric in the chat says, I know what's going to happen to the Harris twins in the upcoming pay-per-views. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. Eric, you're like 100 shows ahead of us.
Good, Eric. You keep that to yourself, Eric.
Eric went nuts. He watched like all of them. He already watched all the Wednesday night shows. So he's already got the whole thing done. But no, he called me worse than a jabroni, guys. Let's leave it at that. I'll have to bring Papa Z back on the show and have him call me a jabroni in front of everybody.
Trent? Did you get the belt?
I did not get I've gotten the belt, but I'm talking like the actual belt I've gotten for sure. Okay. I didn't get a title belt. That's for damn sure. No. Okay. I got the real belt. Okay. Yeah. He's like, oh, you want a belt, you little bastard? Yeah, here's your fucking belt. And,
your belt.
I got the Calvin Klein belt to the to the chops, but
here's your title.
I gotta bring him back on. Kyle, it's a good idea. Let's bring him back on. I'm gonna make him out of context watch Rebellion or something. I'll be like, Dad, I want you to watch this show.
I'll just lie and tell him that Tara is going to be on the show, and then
I just lied to him.
Just be like, she couldn't make it. Travel issues, something. COVID.
The old man, he did love Tara. He was a big Tara fan. Got to hang out with her at her restaurant in Chicago. Love Tara.
Get a boner.
Great stuff. Short little tag team match here, though. Ace Steel and Bruce get the win on Jorge Estrada and Priscilla. I did like that they're giving Jorge something here, but not enough that's going to carry him too far. It seems like you can just tell.
Match kind of just went too long. Like, this was an action show, but I feel like this match was probably the stinker on the card.
Yeah, it's like they started something a couple weeks ago, and they're like, we got to wrap this up somewhere. We don't really where are you going to go with it.
Yeah.
There was really nowhere to go with it. You're kind of pigeonholing yourself. Jorge's still doing that flying Elvis thing. What are you going to do with it? Jay, when you got something to say?
I would have constructive criticism here, obviously, we fantasy book stuff here and there. If I was booking this show, I would have kept all the matches the same except for this one. I would have taken out this one and maybe put it at the end between the Siaki Jerry Lynn match and the AJ Styles Amazing Red match, or something like that.
Some little like bring the crowd down to warm them back up for the main.
Just to keep the tournament matches like all together.
Yeah, something to kind of space it a little bit. You're right though. It would have been better to kind of bring it out. It was in a weird spot. Yeah, I mean it's in a very strange spot because we go right from that to a total cluster of a match here though. Jeff Jarrett and Curt Hennig in the tournament match only lasted a minute 13. This was short. Jarrett gets the win on this one. Jay, break this one down for me. I want you to break this one down. You're the detail guy. Kyle, piggyback off this. But a minute 13? A minute 13 between Curt Hennig and Jeff Jarrett? What's going on?
It's a quickie for sure.
Yeah, no shit. But what happened? Jaybone, break this one down.
Well, yeah, because Hennig is already looking like yesterday's trash coming down to the ring. His head's all wrapped. He's still, but they didn't clean him up one bit.
Looks like he just walked out of a car wreck.
He did. He looked beat up, man.
Yeah, and the car wreck also fell out of a plane at 35,000 feet.
That's one hell of a wreck.
Yeah, you know, Kurt Hennig walking through the entranceway all bandaged up and bloody. That's like when you're
And
out with your friends.
He's doing this. He's
That's like when you're out
stumbling.
with
He's
your friends
tumbling.
and you drink too much and you pass out and get sick, and then you come back like an hour later and like your friend's like, "Oh, he's alive!" You know,
Oh shit!
come back for more. That's what it is.
He's
Sounds
ready
like
for
you're
more.
talking from experience, Kyle, aren't you?
Experiences. My childhood, Trent.
I probably had a couple of those back in the day, or I should say, I knew a
Last
guy.
weekend. Yeah, I get it. Whatever.
Oh no!
Oh,
no! Oh no! I can't do that anymore. Father Bone over here. No, I just
Daddy
Father Bone.
Grandpa
I-
Bone.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Jay. Finish your thought
Just
on that. I
don't
didn't mean to
call
cut
me
you off.
Daddy.
Jesus Christ. This is what happens when we go after dark, guys. We go late night with these reviews. This is the kind of shit that starts getting said over here.
It's getting crazy.
But
Go
yeah,
ahead, Jay.
he doesn't even make it down to the ring. He's getting hit with chairs, and he gets hit with the stroke. And it's we haven't seen the stroke in a while, so it was kind of interesting. So yeah, there you go. 1, 2, 3. Kurt Hennig is still a hot mess and has to get helped out.
We didn't get much out of it. We didn't get much play out of this. I mean, Kurt Hennig in a minute 13. That's like shit. Now he's not gone. I can reassure people that there's more to happen with Kurt Hennig. I remember that. But yeah, that was a weird way to get him out of that title picture. Like done.
Jarrett killed him. Slap nuts.
Yeah, he definitely gave.
Yeah, right.
Slapped by the nuts.
There was a comment in the chat. This is interesting. I just complete sidebar. This is from my boy Andrew here, but he was saying anybody's dad commentating over the Tessa Elgin and Eddie match would be entertaining. I think that's the one I gotta have watch. Like, all right, Dad. Now, what you know about traditional wrestling's out the window. This woman's gonna fight these guys. What do you think? I would love to hear the old man talk about that one, just to hear. My dad's pretty cool. It might be like, he might be like, oh, that's what they're doing, huh? Okay, this is interesting. But he's gonna kill her. That big guy's gonna kill her. That's what he's gonna say. How's she gonna fight them? So the practicalities that come out. I really need to make him watch that match. I'm really thinking about that now. We'll see if I can get the old man down. I'm quarantined for a month, guys. It's safe to say I can go in their house now, right? Am I safe to go into the house? Kyle, you're a former COVID survivor here.
Yeah.
Can I go in the house now?
You got to take a page out of my book. You got to put the mask on. You got to put the gloves on. You got to wear your hazmat suit.
I mean, I went over there today. I sat on the patio with him, but I couldn't go in the. I was like, I shouldn't go in the house.
Right.
I mean, I'm safe.
Spread the COVID to your parents, Trent. You might be carrying.
I've been home for a month. How can I be carrying it? I haven't done shit. I've been inside. I've been in these walls for a month.
You haven't left at all?
Dude, I haven't gone to the grocery store. I haven't done shit.
Are you eating, Trent? You all right?
I lost 10 pounds, but I am eating. I got Nurse Nicole picking up my food for me. It's great.
All right.
It's great. She's a nurse. She's already exposed. I'm like, if you're going out to the grocery store, why risk my exposure? Why don't you pick up some stuff? I'll send you the cash.
Well, the coronavirus is on the food. She gives you the food. You go to your parents on the patio. Your parents pick up COVID from interacting with you. And that's just how it goes, Trent.
I hear that COVID is pretty creepy. It slides underneath the doors and does God knows what to you in the middle of the night.
Jesus. What are we doing, man? We cannot go after dark anymore. This is what happens.
No.
This is what happens. We've turned COVID into a sexual reference.
Let's get back to the review.
Jesus. All right, here we go. So the next one was probably the star match of the Basil's in the chat. What's up, Basil? The star match of the show. This was the highlight. I think Sonny Siaki in 1501. This match kicked all sorts of ass, including each other. Gotta give this one as the top one. Even though I know the main is heralded as like the big attraction, I think this match stole the show. Jaybone, give me your thoughts on this one. What did you think about this one?
Oh, I watched this one twice. It was so damn good. Yeah, I loved it. I absolutely would have.
Really?
I would have put the last like 3 decent tournament matches to headline this show and made this one the headliner. And that's not knocking Amazing Red and AJ Styles by no means, but which certainly deserved to headline because it was that good. And apparently from what Today said, the internets were the infancy of the internets were talking about the headliner as well. But yeah, the Siaki versus Jerry Lynn. Jerry Lynn looked like he was back to 100% here. not limping all over the place.
Yep.
And I tell you, I pulled one thing out of here, which is completely out of left field, and it's the curse of the Jaybone. I swear to God.
Curse of the bone.
When you look in the
curse of
crowd,
It's a crooked bone.
It's always. And anyways, late night, Jesus. There was a you could say a big fan of Brucey in the crowd. There was a fan in the crowd, all decked out, tiara, sachet across.
Oh, I didn't see this.
And go back and it's like right if you look at the ramp where the guys are duking that out on the ramp towards the end of the match or right at the end where they're going up the ramp, right in the corner of the entrance on the one side, you'll see a guy in a very tight red gown, tiara, sachet says Miss TNA. I was like, oh my God, it's Brucey Jr.
Was it near those heel section guys? Was he by those guys, the heel section dudes?
It was right where that one chick that always tries to make sure that her chair doesn't get taken.
Yes.
It's right there.
Who is that? Who is that lady? She is always fighting back with all the wrestlers. Like she doesn't play it long at all. Just trying to get herself over.
She doesn't. Yeah, and she always gets some camera time, and because of it, it's
always.
Hilarious.
The first time she had camera time, remember, Jaybone? We thought she was part of the show. And I told her, I didn't remember this lady at all from my first watching of this.
Yeah, because she was so charismatic. She was like, she acted like she was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's William
we thought she was a plant. What's up?
It's William Gardner's aunt.
Yes. The original front row. The original front row person. The original front row captain there. But
it's the vest gal instead of the vest guy. Except she wasn't wearing a.
I like how there's a little Plumtree Jr. in the crowd too. A lot of cosplay going on at NWA TNA.
It was a part. Think about this, guys. Every Wednesday night, you had a destination. A destination. Imagine you live locally over there, right? And it's like every Wednesday, you and your buddies had a place to go. Every Wednesday, hey, we're going to wrestling. You know, they kept the prices fair.
Quite rowdy.
Dude, I mean, what a blast to do midweek. Something to do midweek.
And these shows were $10, Trent. These were $10 a week.
$10 a week to order on pay-per-view. I think the tickets in the arena were, I think, 15 or 20 for like first row, and the rest were all like $10, maybe $12.
General.
They kept them. They kept it very fair locally. Pay-per-view was $9.95. That was it. $9.99.
Now Trent, I was able to watch from NWA TNA #1 live the night it aired, correct?
#1.
Where did you hear about it? Like, how did you find out that they were doing their first show?
I'm trying to remember. The big thing at the time was the message boards. That was the big thing, was message boards.
Early days.
And like all you heard, early. No Twitter, guys. No Twitter. The message boards were blowing up about this new thing. I think I saw some ads pop up. A couple of wrestlers talking about MySpace. MySpace was a big one too at the time. Guys on MySpace talking about it.
Pre-MySpace. This is 2002, man. This is early.
No, MySpace was around. This is right at MySpace time.
I was thinking
02,
Are you sure? I thought
like
MySpace
America
was
Online,
like late
AOL.
2000s.
Yeah.
No. This was MySpace was around because I remember adding a couple of these guys on at the time. Like there was a couple of guys I ended up friending on MySpace here, but question, why were they filming in Nashville at the time? Original company was formed by, the Fairgrounds.
Yes,
Fairgrounds is a classic building going back to the old USWA days. This is a historic building in pro wrestling history. A lot of stuff went on here. I mean, talking classic matches, going back to the 50s and 60s. And the Jarretts were the original owners. Jarretts, who, if anybody knows, Jerry Jarrett and Jerry Lawler owned Memphis. They were the Memphis promoters for the longest time. This is Nashville, obviously blending it over to Nashville. So this was Jeff doing it with his dad. That's where the influence came in. So that's why. But Nashville, Tennessee in general, very historic state for pro wrestling. So that's why I got to go to the Asylum once. I'm so happy when I watch these shows. I got to go one time for last year's homecoming show. That was nice. That was awesome, dude. Just finally getting to do it. Basil was in the chat. Basil was there with me. We all went down. So it was a very for guys like us who ordered all the shows. Like he said, he's used his allowance to buy them. It was it was pretty historic to be in that building, man. I got to give it to it. But Siaki wins, guys. Moves on. Jerry, beats Jerry Lynn 15-01.
I want to talk about Siaki for a second, Trent.
Yes, please.
It's been a thing I bring up every time I come on because, for a while you were saying, you love Sonny and you always felt he's super underrated, which I agree.
Super underrated.
I think guy puts on a hell of a match in ring. But at this point at NWA TNA number 19, I'm going to give him a lot of time to get better and better. But my issue with Sonny was not his match, but it was his interview before the match. Felt like when he's on the microphone, it's a little too much dollar store rock.
It was
Thrift store rock.
It was yeah, but it was creepy.
He's talking in third person. Yeah, it was a little cringy on the microphone, but his in-ring performance was totally stellar. But I'm going to give him some episodes to get a little more crisp. Better MC.
Yeah, I didn't point out the Jerry and Sonny both had a pre-match, right? I know Jerry was with Goldie. I'm trying to remember what Sonny was. Who did Sonny? He interviewed with Goldie also. I'm trying to remember who that was with. Yeah. They both had a thing with Goldie, right? So I didn't. Yeah, but you're right. I know what you mean. I think about that now that I see it. Huh?
A little cheesy.
I see. Yeah, I get it though. You're right because I'm like, man, why was he doing the same thing as The Rock?
Yeah, third person. He's doing the little peck jiggle. You know what I'm saying? All the little mannerisms. I mean,
Well, the crowd let him have it too. The chants throughout the whole match, they were calling him Rock wannabe, all sorts of Rock.
Oh, really? I didn't catch that.
Oh yeah, go back and listen to the crowd.
Rowdy is silent crowd,
and he responds to him too. He acknowledged him. When they were saying something, he looked at them and he was like, "Wow." So yeah, he was getting some serious heat from the crowd, and it was working. It was really working. Whatever he was doing,
can't be that surprised.
Love it or hate it was working.
You can't be that surprised. I mean, he's a Samoan guy who has the same structure as The Rock. Doing all the same mannerisms and the talk. It's like, what are you surprised people are making the rock reference here? Wait, I gotta point this out. The Beast
come into his own.
Yes. Give it to him. I mean, let's see where he goes. I know he comes into his own a year from now as he's even more into his own. I gotta point one thing out though. Homecoming was epic. We marked out the dressing room. Yeah, we shot pros. Yeah, the dressing room, the sports entertainment extreme dressing room, we marked out being in that thing. But there was the Beast. Scroll up for a second there, Jaybone. There was a comment from I think the Beast, and he mentioned I was at Homecoming last year. Interesting. Yeah, we were there, man. Hope we could have connected, but maybe some other time. Some other time. But no, we marked out. I marked out for the concession stand. How about that? The one you could see on some of these TNA shows in the background with the big red canopy. I marked out for that. I'm like, there's the concession stand. Basil can totally attest this. I'm like, dude, it's the concession stand that you'd always see on TNA. Holy shit, we're in the fucking asylum. This is crazy. So like, yeah. Hey, 200 shows, 200 weeks of watching this on pay-per-view. That was a pretty historic moment to go into.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You notice certain things, and then you walk in a place that you've seen on TV a bunch of times, and it's like the place becomes a character in its own.
It does. ECW Arena is another one,
The only other thing, like currently within the last decade that I can compare that to is watching Lucha Underground. And the temple itself becomes its own character,
Yeah. Now Bill was there too. The asylum. He says asylum, baby. Yeah, Bill was there too. I mean, too, Bill. It was like crazy. It's surreal to be in that building. It's surreal to be actually in this building we see on TV all the time. So definitely interesting. But Dave, do me a favor before we talk about the main event. Display this comment from Dead Punk Gage. I want to talk about that. This is very interesting, and I'll get to Andrews over here in a second, but that's always been Siaki's detriment and held him back from being his own man. The weird thing is every small-time promotion around this time had their own Rock wannabe in their company. That's a huge point. That's a really good point because they were trying to just kind of catch their own Rock, right? In this case, Siaki was Samoan. He had the body style. He had the look. He had the mic skills. It literally was like, here's our version here. Can we push him to the moon? But looking back, like Kyle pointed it out perfectly, Dollar Store Rock. I mean, watching this for the first time, Kyle, that's the first impression you get, right? You don't see Sonny Siaki, you see a guy impersonating The Rock.
Bro, he's just like Rock, bro. Just like Rock, bro.
It's kind of a detriment, I gotta say. Didn't get to be his own guy, but
if you follow where Vince Russo is working, he tries to find the Rock wherever he is. Like if you go to late WCW, there's a point where they kind of just start dressing Booker T up as the Rock and calling him the People's Champion. Like Booker T gets a very similar haircut to the Rock and starts wearing Versace shirts. I feel like Vince.
And you're right.
So he's writing NWA TNA. Vince Russo's writing NWA TNA at this time as well. I feel like, in his head, his biggest accomplishment, probably Stone Cold and The Rock, trying to capture that again. But I mean, it's like a bad sequel. You can't just capture that again. It's a once in a lifetime thing.
Great point. That's a great point. I didn't really think about it. It's a really good point. We got a comment here. Are you saying that TNA Impact doesn't go back and overdub the crowd from old shows? I thought they all did that. Not this. These are all original. Like the Asylum shows, there's no overdubbing on these whatsoever. They got profanity going in these things. They got. Jay,
they're wild.
The only thing they do, and Jay and I have caught this when Bruce has been out. I mean, there were some slurs.
Yeah, talking
sexual slurs.
Man, people are still a little. Social norms are a little different. People are a little nastier, a little politically correct.
Kyle, before you joined these, Jay and I could talk. We had a couple reviews where we're like shocked at the shit being said at Bruce. I mean, they do dub some of that when there's like chants, homosexual chants. Yeah. There was some stuff against Truth as well. I mean, he was getting heat too for just being a black guy in the South. He was getting heat on that stuff. So there was a lot of
for this area. Yeah, it's to watch the evolution of the crowd for like against and then for and then against our Truth again is like a story all on its own. It's crazy.
Plus, you can also say what was interesting was the early crowd of NWA TNA, like let's say, Jay, maybe first 7 shows was a whole different crowd that would have ended up being all the young kids. Because you could see where the shift happened. There was like way more hipster fans coming, that heel section group of guys. There's like all these like around show 10, maybe a little earlier. Like new younger fans start coming in now. That's where it shifted.
The big divide, I feel, was
when did they bring the cage dancers in? When did they bring the cage dancers in? Were they on episode number 1?
Oh, they were from the beginning. Cage dancers. Jay can tell you that.
I would say.
Jay can tell you that.
I would say the quality of the cage dancers improved greatly over the course of the last couple. I just, I'm not saying I watched these things fervently or anything.
Yes, you did. That's the review within the review. You're reviewing the cage dancers' performance. So right now you're saying there's an uptick, an increase in performance. They're at the peak of the cage dancers, right?
Yeah, looks shaking. Let's get back to the review.
Okay.
Yeah, Jaybone's a married man here.
Before I get my door busted down here.
What are we doing here? Come on.
Stir the drink.
But no, there was a shift in crowd, and then you had some real brutal shit being chanted at one time. But they were literally blurring signs that were so vulgar in the crowd. So times have changed, guys. Times have changed.
It would take a lot to get censored. So you knew it was something nasty.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah. It was like there was the review that we did right before you joined us, Kyle. The signs for Brucey were horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. They were 2002. It's a whole different world. But all right, main event, guys. The X Division title. AJ Styles and Mortimer Plumtree taking on Amazing Red. This was Red's coming of age. This was the match that I think people were like, they were already loving Red. This was the match that it was like, all right, this kid, this is the future of High Fun. This is our next Rey Mysterio. This is our next Juventud. This is our next diamond in the rough that we have found an Amazing Red. But AJ wins this one, retains the X Division title, 12 minutes, 37 seconds. But actually, I'm sorry. Let me back up for a second. I wanted to point one thing out. Before this match, I'm sorry, I totally jumped ahead.
You're missing out the Brian Lawler and April stuff.
I know, yeah. Before let me rewind.
Can't leave that out.
Let's go to that. I'm so sorry. Let me rewind. You guys got to call me out quicker on that shit.
I just noticed it when you started talking about the main event. I looked down and I was like, oh, wait a minute.
So let's rewind for a second.
Yeah, I was still thinking about the cage dancers.
Yeah, he's distracted. Kyle, talk about this Brian Lawler thing. I want you to discuss what happened here. This is very interesting.
So we get Goldie Rock interviewing Brian Lawler in April, and you got Happy Lawler. He's in love with April. He's enjoying himself, and then he flips the switch and starts talking about Six Pac as per usual. Very animated Brian Lawler is, and and then he proves it to Goldie by making out with April, and then Brian Lawler and April go to the ring, and
she looked very uncomfortable. She looked very uncomfortable with that makeup.
Very, very uncomfortable. And on the way to the ring, Lawler argues with some fan and attacks the fan and rips him over the guardrail. What kind of fan experience is that? I mean, come on.
Fan pushed him, though.
You're paying big money for front row seats. They're going to make you part of the action. Nothing better than that. Fan got his money worth. The fan was bleeding. And then Lawler refuses to do an in-ring promo because, he hates the fan. Just made him bleed like a stuffed pig.
Yeah, he slapped the shit out of that guy.
Yeah, that's all.
He broke his nose and kicked him and everything.
That was nuts.
Rubbed him
beat
up.
The shit. Yeah. But the first slap he gives the fan was crazy. Like the guy's like mouthing off them. He just slaps the shit out of him. So I'm like, man, that's brutal. But yeah, that was I told him I didn't want to miss that. And I had that written down. I completely jumped over that. But very interesting. The Brian Lawler saga. But let's go back to that. Let's go back to that main event. So AJ and Red. This was the match. I think, like I said, Red. This made Red. Officially, this was the match that made Red the guy to watch. This was your next star to watch. And imagine you're getting a young AJ Styles and a young Amazing Red at this time, 18 years ago. Insanity. Like what this match was, though.
Them if they're like, this is at that point in their careers where like they're still really young, so they're still like doing the crazier shit and taking the crazier bumps. This is once you get older, your body gets a little more beat up. You start working a little smarter. This is 2000. So guys are and I mean, it's early NWA TNA. They're trying to get their names out there. Guys are really going above and beyond.
That finish was insane, Jaybone. Red with the Hurricanrana off the top, and then he flips AJ over, and then AJ rolls through, and that's the pin, right? That was insane.
It's like Styles top reverse to a Rana, but then Styles rolls through for the pin. It's like, what?
Yeah, to have the athleticism to reverse that, to keep rolling through, and then just if you blink, you miss it, and it's like, whoa, it's over. Wait, he did what? Yeah, it's insane, and it shows you not how good AJ is, but how both these guys are. It was tremendous.
Keep in mind, in 2002, nobody was doing this stuff. I mean, very little were doing this kind of stuff. This was new. What you see now on TV is 100 moves like this per match. I mean, these guys were 100. Every match has something like this nearly. It's
pioneers.
High spots. But in this time, this was unique. This was different. This was a new style coming in to the world of professional wrestling. And it was so innovative and so different. I mean, you hear that crowd. The crowd loses its mind because they're like, what the fuck are we seeing here? Like, this is mind-blowing shit to see two guys do this. But man, what an incredible match. I thought this was.
I mean, I feel like that style is what put NWA TNA on the map. Had they not had the X Division and that insane cruiserweight style, caliber of content, I think they would have failed. I think they would have just been another, upstart promotion that went for a year or two and just had the cult quits. But I feel like it was the AJ Styles, the Amazing Reds, all of these X Division guys that really made, the company stand out.
No doubt. They took what the cruiserweights were from WCW and just turned it up to 10. That was intense. But there's a comment here. I want to address this comment.
You got to salute the X Division pioneers.
Absolutely. This comment here, the change of Nurse Nicole's opinion on Red before and after his match at Warrior Wrestling was hilarious. So this is kind of funny. Total sidebar. Nicole's never heard of Red. Huh?
Story time?
She's never. This story time. A little short story. She's never heard of Amazing Red. Never. He's on his comeback tour. He did Warrior Wrestling here in Chicago. She sees him. She's like, what's this little guy? What's he going to do? I'm not impressed. He's everybody's like, it's Red. It's Red. Everybody's marking out for Red. Everybody. The boys are marking out for Red. Me and Baz are marking out for Red. But it was like, she's like, I don't see anything special.
She just didn't
sees
know.
The match. She didn't know. Sees the match. Now, this is Red 18 years.
Really critical, to be fair.
She is. But she doesn't know. She doesn't know. She doesn't know a lot of stuff. So she sees him. This is an 18-year older Red. she gets to the match, and the match comes out, and she's like, "Holy shit, what did I just see? That guy is awesome!" And then it was all over, right? Like, you're great. You're awesome.
That's him on the old reunion tour. That's not him in 2002. So, goddamn.
That's true, man. You're talking like a 40-plus-year-old rat doing this, man. So definitely very fun. But that was number 9. That was episode number 19, guys. It was huge. It was a lot. It was a lot of guys. Like if you look at the names on this card, these are the names that really were becoming foundational of NWA TNA. As we're going forward, AJ Styles, Amazing Red, Ron the Truth Killings, Jerry Lynn, Sonny Siaki, the Hot Shots, Bruce. Well, Bruce doesn't last too much longer after this.
Plumtree, the greats.
More Plumtree, the greats, legends.
The greats.
AMW, Brian Lawler, Kid Cash. These are names who are just like, you're gonna keep seeing. This is what's gonna build this early part of the company. We're not even out of year 1, and we've done 19 episodes so far, and there's been a lot of shit happening. But AJ Styles, obviously being the big captain, who's gonna really be the homegrown guy who does it right. So, but yeah, that was episode 19, guys. Any Jaybone, any takeaway, any kind of summary on this one you wanted to put up there?
We're in the midst of the start of this tournament, and Jarrett kind of put the exclamation point on it, basically saying, he did a lot of bitching and moaning in the first several weeks, and now, he'd had that little promo out there prior to, beating the ever-loving hell out of Curt Hennig. It seems like this is, amidst all the chaos and Mr. Wrestling 3 and everything that's going on, it seems like this is a more focused Jeff Jarrett going on. It's not just him. Okay, now I'm gonna
slap nuts.
Yeah, it's it seems like he's like, all right, his goal is he's gonna go by the rules, but he's not gonna go by the rules, but he is going for that championship. He made that perfectly clear in this one. So yeah, man, it's like evil is running wild. The Reverend Jim Mitchell and his crew are back. The tag division's about to get flipped on its head. It's almost like another turning of the page with this episode.
Yeah, I agree. That's a really good point. Lot got set up here. Kyle, I know you jumped in late. I'm going to encourage you to go back and watch like 1 to 16 and get caught up on these. That'd be nice.
I'm going to continue to follow with you guys here on the show. I'll come back for 20 and so on. So, yeah, but when I have extra time, I will go back. But great show overall. Amazing Red versus AJ Styles was a great match. Sonny Siaki versus Jerry Lynn, also a great match. And then next week, we can look forward to little announcements such as Kid Cash, SATs, Ace Steel, Tony Mamaluke in a X Division title shot match. Then we have Jorge Estrada versus Bruce, AJ Styles versus Jerry Lynn, JJ versus Hennig, and James versus Siaki. So those are things to look forward to next week.
And that's about as fast as Don West rattled it off, too, which is why I didn't write it down last minute. So
you got to do it quick. Getting late here.
I love how episodic it is. Like, think about that preview of next week. Everything for that next week's show we just discussed was set up on this week's show. You know what I mean? Like, it's episodic. It's episodic storytelling. Yeah. It's something wrestling today really lacks in a lot of ways.
I like
heavy episodic stuff.
I like how the show didn't end immediately with, the result of the main event. Instead, they go right to Don West, the salesman, and they let you know, hey, if you enjoyed this, come back next week. You're going to see.
Yeah.
Like, that was a kind of cool touch because, if anybody's going to sell you next week, who better than Don West?
That's true. I'm not opposed to that. Like, I used to love the like when I was watching WCW as a kid, it was exciting when something would be happening and Tony Schiavone goes, "We got to go. We're out of time." And we cut out. But this is a different approach where you see it, you get to breathe for a second, you cut to Don West, and he sets you up for next week. And it's kind of not a bad approach either because I'm like, oh, shit, you're hooking me for next week based on a whole different one, not just leaving me with what's in the ring. You're telling me what I'm going to see next week. And you're telling me that I'm going to continue all these stories. And I'm like, oh, cool. That's kind of a nice, interesting way to do it too. I'm not opposed to that either. It's maybe from where I'm the fan I am now as a producer I am now, I look at it like that's a good way to sell next week. You know, maybe not just leaving it in the ring, but selling, actually letting me know what I'm going to get next week. That I'm going to get these stories paid off next week. That's kind of a good hook too. But yeah, you're right though, Jay. This is a very initiating show to set up the rest of what's going on for the company. So exciting stuff. Episode 19. Sorry for the little tech glitch in the middle for me, guys, but thanks for carrying on the conversation. Any feedback from the chat? Anybody who watched this, guys, you guys are all in the live chat. What did you guys think of episode 19? What do you want to see these things go? Are you following along? Are you watching from memory or following along from memory? What is your feedback on 19? And I'm excited for 20. I'm looking forward to it. But Kyle, I really want you to go back and watch the old ones.
Oh yeah. Final thoughts from the tribe members here. Get them up, Jaybone. But yeah, I'm hooked. I'll be watching number 20 shortly. But yeah, I got to go back and brush up just to do my homework.
Just so you know where all this is coming from.
Yeah.
But
need more context.
Jay, you still enjoying these? I know this is all your first time watching these through. You still having fun with these?
Oh, hell yeah, dude, because the more and more surprises are happening every week. And I've seen a couple things that are coming down the road, a few bigger names that are coming into the company during this time of wrestling. There's so much happening because everything that, the bigger companies at the time, a couple years beforehand, went away, and now you're starting to see this trickle effect of new legendary and up and coming faces into the company. And man, all I can say is just hold on, because it's gonna get even 10 times more batshit crazy down the road very, very soon.
Oh yeah,
and I can't wait to get into them.
Yeah, no question. It's going to be, keep in mind, 2002. We're just a little bit removed from WCW to ECW closing. Some WCW contracts, those guaranteed contracts, will be ending a little. Some more guys start freeing up. You're going to see more. Yeah. So
it's like
relive some of the stuff, guys.
Blueprint of Crash TV that made the late 90s such a hit, and it's like, how do we do that and make it bigger and crazier? And the result is NWA TNA. It's insane. And I've been thinking, I want to make an NWA TNA drinking game. Now, Trent, you obviously won't participate because you don't drink.
I got water.
Yeah, you can do it with your water, but I want to make like a chart of like every time this happens, every time Don West says this, every time you see Vince Russo, every time there's a swerve, every time there's it's going to be an NWA TNA drinking game. And as soon as I'm done with it, I'm going to play it here live on the show as we review an episode, and
he'll be hammered by
the end of it.
I got a great first one for you.
I'd like to hear suggestions from the listeners, and if you're not listening live, if we already did this, still jump in the comments. Let me know things that you would want on that chart for Kyle's NWA TNA drinking game.
First, what do you got, Jay?
First and foremost, this infamous quote that I keep hearing through several episodes, several times in each episode. Don West losing his mind going, you have got to be kidding me.
I knew it. I knew that's what he's going to go with. I knew that was what he was going to go with. You have got to be kidding me. Classic Don West.
He said that at least 10 times during the main event just of this one. It was
Vince Burr is excited for the drinking game, Kyle. He wants a drinking game.
Yeah. I'm going to put it together by the time we get on by Monday. If we do number 20 on Monday, I'll have at least half of it ready. Them of the weekend.
All right, do it.
Be all ready.
Hold them to it, guys. I want you to tweet us at We Talk Impact. And hold
have a couple drinkies. Why not? I'm not driving.
Take a shot every time Don says this is the greatest match in TNA history. That's another one too.
They're only 19 episodes in. Is he saying?
No, 19 in. Yeah, not yet on that one. But you have got to be kidding me. You'd be hammered by it. Third match. No question.
Oh yeah.
When did the NWA get dropped from TNA? 2007, I believe, was when they officially transitioned it off. Kurt Angle was Kurt Angle was the first official TNA only world champion.
Yeah, it was Kurt, not Christian Cage.
Christian was the last NWA TNA champion, I believe.
Yeah, okay.
So,
oh, gee.
Yeah. Drink every time Brian Lawler acts over the top. you wouldn't make it out of a segment. You would not make it out of a Brian Lawler segment. It's amazing.
You drink every time Frosted Tip hairstyle appears on the screen. I also forgot to
man.
mention in the review, Brian Lawler at the end of the show was wearing a mean pair of Jinko jeans. I saw the big crown, the big logo. I mean, fashion.
Again,
Fashion.
very 2002.
Oh, yeah.
Lakers going to play. Everybody's in for the drink. Guy, I think you're onto something here.
Yeah, the NWA TNA drinking game.
No, yeah, definitely. Basil points out something good. The name was dropped before then, though. She's right. The NWA TNA part was dropped. As far as it being the name of the show, it was dropped. I want to say NWA 2004. They dropped NWA TNA, but the NWA title was still their title until 07. So like 3 years is still the main title was still like the NWA title. It was interesting how long they still carried that on. iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Player.fm. Rate, review, subscribe. Downloads are free. Get in there. Let us know what you think of the show. Whatever you're listening from, if you're just there's a lot of folks, guys. We got all the guys in the chat. There's a ton of people listening on audio only. Just the audio folks. iTunes people. Hey, if you guys are listening on iTunes, Stitch, or whatever, once in a while, pop into the chat. We want to hear from some.
You
of the
have
names.
to, because I appreciate if you're listening to the audio, but you're missing out on the conversation within the conversation, and that's our listeners. That's the chat room. It's on the screen. It's below us in the live chat. You can't miss out on that, and we want you to come participate.
Yeah, definitely come in. Let us know what you think. We like it. We like what you're we like what you got to say about the show. We like all feedback. So definitely still always welcoming any feedback you guys got for us. But definitely connect with us, guys. Social media is always there. Let us know. We Talk Impact on all social medias. Rate, review, subscribe, whatever you got to do. But then we're going to be back. Are we going to do Monday? Guys, are we doing Monday for sure?
I'm in.
Number 20?
I'm in.
All right. Yeah. We will be back Monday night to do NWA TNA number 20. If you guys are not following along, 30-day free trial during quarantine of Impact Plus. Go on there, 30 days for free. Get in there.
What else are you doing? Seriously, what else are you doing? You got 24 hours to twiddle your thumbs and sit on your ass and maybe take a dump once in a while. Get that freaking trial.
There's no excuses.
Yeah, no excuse. Get on there. Get on there and follow along with us. And we're going to keep doing them.
Yeah.
You can blast out a bunch in a month. But we'll be doing that on Monday. And then Tuesday, guys, back here for the flagship show every week that we do, breaking down Impact Wrestling every Tuesday night, going on about half hour after Impact airs on AXSTV and Twitch. We'll be on Twitch and all the other platforms about 30 minutes after Impact Wrestling airs. So catch us then. So Monday and Tuesday nights, this is your destination, total nonstop Impact. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, do it right now. And so you can hit the little bell. Know we're going live, but that's going to do it for us, guys. We appreciate you joining us late night Saturday, last minute. Gentlemen, did I forget anything? Nothing?
If you're watching from the Twitch, head on over to the Twitch TNI channel over on Twitch. It's TNI Show.
The TNI Show on Twitch, guys. That's
give it
where
a
you
follow.
Catch it on Twitch.
There you go.
Yeah, give it a. Yeah, we're trying to build up our Twitch because what you can do is, you can switch over right from Impact on Twitch to us on Twitch. So, yeah, check it out, guys. That's going to do it for us. We will talk to you Monday night. Thank you all for joining us. Have a good night, everybody. Stay safe out there. We'll talk to you later.
See ya.
Let's make some noise!